compound events. When looking at the likelihood that two or more events will occur, it is called a compound event. So finding or probabilities, what we would do is we find the probabilities and add them together, and then finding the and probabilities, we will find the probabilities, and then we're going to multiply them together. So we'll see this in two different examples. So example 1. In a given day, 1 out of 3 jobs uses E7018, and 1 out of 7 jobs uses E6010. What is the probability of the job using E7018 and E6010 on a given day? So this and word is our key word. And then what we need to first do then is also find the probabilities. So probabilities for using E7018 is 1 out of 3. Then for using E6010, it's 1 out of 7. And because we are saying and, we're going to have to go ahead and multiply these two probabilities together. So we multiply the top together and we multiply the bottom numbers together. So we get 1 times 1, which is 1. 3 times 7 is 21. So our probability of a job using one and then using the other would be 1 out of 21. Now let's look at another example. Example 2. In a given day, 1 out of 3 jobs uses E7018 and 1 out of 7 jobs uses E6010. So what is the probability of the job using E7018 or E6010 on a given day? So we're using the same data from the first example, but instead we're asking the or. So this means we're going to go 1 out of 3 for using E7018 and 1 out of 7 for the other one. The next thing we need to do is we need to add these two together, because that's what we do when we have or probabilities. Notice that when we try to add these, we don't have the same common denominator. So we're going to have to quickly change that. So 1/3 plus 1/7. So what we would do is we'd multiply this with 7 over 7 and this one 3 over 3. So this then becomes 7 times 1. We'll multiply those two numbers. We multiply those numbers together. We multiply that numbers together. And then we multiply those numbers together. So 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 1 times 3 is 3. 7 times 3 is 21. So now we have a common denominator as we just multiplied the other term by the other denominator. So we got our base of 21. And we can go 7 plus 3 is equal to 10 over, and we keep our denominator, so that's 10 over 21.